In the 2010 historical drama film The King's Speech, Lionel Logue, a speech therapist, helps King George VI, who suffered from a severe stammer. The film depicts the king's connection with his therapist and how they work together to overcome the king's speech impediment. Although the movie is based on real events, it does take certain creative licenses and exaggerates certain parts of the king's life and stuttering for dramatic effect. For instance, the movie makes the case that the king's stuttering was caused by strict upbringing and traumatic events in his youth. However, there is no conclusive evidence that these factors contribute to stuttering. Regardless, The King's Speech is an impressive and motivational movie that illustrates how one guy overcame his stammering to become the head of his country. It also increases understanding and compassion for those who stammer and the difficulties they face.
This is the Sundeep Show.
Stuttering is a complex speech condition characterized by persistent, severe difficulties with speech flow and regular fluency. People who stammer are able to formulate their thoughts, but they have trouble expressing them verbally. It's unclear exactly what causes stuttering. However, factors including environment, brain circuitry, and heredity may have an impact. Stuttering-associated genetic mutations have been linked by some researchers to structural issues in the corpus callosum, thalamus, and basal ganglia, among other brain regions. Communication, speech, and body motions all take place in these locations. Nevertheless, the precise biological mechanisms that contribute to stuttering remain poorly comprehended. There is a possibility that individuals who stutter are predisposed to diverse genetic factors. Being frightened or having experienced emotional trauma are not the root causes of stuttering. Different forms of treatments exist for stuttering, which vary according to the individual's age, objectives, and requirements. There's something called speech therapy. This requires collaboration with a speech-language pathologist who can instruct strategies to enhance speech fluency, including breathing exercises, word or sound avoidance, and speaking more slowly. Self-awareness and verbal fluency can benefit from speech therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is one option. Through this type of treatment, the emotional and mental parts of stuttering can be helped, like worrying, being afraid, and having bad thoughts. A person's thoughts and feelings about stuttering, as well as their ability to manage with stressful events about stuttering, can be altered through the use of cognitive behavioral therapy. There is treatment with electronic devices. These devices modify an individual's perception of their own voice in order to improve speech fluency. Delayed auditory feedback, DAF, which imparts a fractional second of delay to the speaker's voice, and frequency-altered feedback, FAF, which modifies the intonation of the speaker's voice, are two such examples. These gadgets can assist in the reduction of stuttering by increasing the speaker's awareness of their own speech and producing a choral effect.
You're listening to the Sundeep Show.
1% of people in the world stutter, and 5% of children stutter at some point. Up to 80% of young infants who begin to stutter eventually cease stuttering. People who will stutter when they're in school are likely to stutter in some way for the rest of their lives. The Australian Stuttering Research Centre's team conducts world-class research and offers specialized treatment services. They have created online stuttering treatments like iGleep, iLitcum, and iWestmead for both adults and kids. Stutterers frequently experience prejudice, teasing, and social exclusion as a result of their speech. A lack of confidence, fear, depression, and even thoughts of suicide are all possible outcomes. Bullying people who stutter can also make their stammer worse by making them more anxious and afraid to speak. Putting stutterers through ridicule or bullying is a callous and detrimental practice that can result in severe mental and physical health consequences. Stuttering doesn't affect a person's IQ and personality. Stuttering only affects the person's ability to speak fluently. Stutterers are human beings like everyone else, and as such, we should treat them with dignity and compassion and avoid making fun of them. They're human beings with feelings and rights just like everyone else. Their speech does not determine their qualities, skills, or dreams. As long as they are given the chance and assistance, they can make numerous contributions to society. Instead of judging them by their speech, we should consider their character and actions. We shouldn't pick on or make fun of people who stutter. Instead, we should try to understand them and help them. We can increase our understanding of the causes and treatments of stammer. We can listen to them carefully and calmly without cutting them off or finishing their thoughts. Without making fun of them or being critical of what they have to say, we can encourage them to freely and confidently express themselves. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Sundeep August. This is the Sundeep August Show. It is wrong and hurtful to pick on people who stutter. It makes us weaker and worse, not stronger and better. It doesn't fix anything. It just makes things worse. Teasing people who stutter brings anguish, not joy. People who stammer should be treated with respect and care, not ridicule. It's the right thing to do.
This is the Sundeep Show.